Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something pretty profound. This idea of shifting from being just a passive observer in your own life to becoming the active author of your reality. We're going to explore how mastering your own consciousness can fill every single moment with real, deep meaning. So let's jump right in.
And let's start with the really powerful question, one I think we can all relate to. Why is it that we so often wait for a crisis to appreciate life, We tend to go through our days on autopilot, taking it all for granted. And then, bam, an emergency hits, and suddenly we're clinging to every second. So why wait? Why not feel that appreciation for life's joy and wonder right now?
Our whole journey really begins with the most fundamental thing there is, our relationship with time. And look, we're not just talking about clocks and calendars here. This is about something deeper. Think of it as a sacred agreement, a covenant that we all have with the present moment.
And this is where it gets so interesting. There's this huge paradox with time, right? On one hand, life can feel like it's just rushing by, like a fleeting dance that's over in the blink of an eye. And yet, the only thing we ever truly possess is the stillness of this very moment, right now. That's the sacred covenant. That's the only reality we actually have. There is only now.
And this idea just adds so much weight to that covenant with the present. Imagine every action, every single thought becomes part of a permanent spiritual record. It's like your life story is being written on the sands of time, creating this monument that says, hey, I was here, I lived. And that makes what we do right now absolutely incredibly significant.
So, if we think of time as the canvas, that naturally leads us from the external world into the internal one, into our minds. Because our thoughts, well, they're the brushes we use to paint our reality on that canvas of time. It's so easy to think of our thoughts as just these fleeting clouds floating by. But they are so much more than that. They're mental constructs. They're the literal building blocks of our identity and our destiny. And here's the key. Whichever thoughts you decide to focus on, you give them the power to become real, to exist within your experienced reality. That puts a tremendous amount of responsibility right on our own shoulders, doesn't it? The so-called demons we all face, our anxieties, our fears, our self-doubts, they don't come from some outside evil force. They arise from within. We are the ones who create them. It's a sobering realization for sure, but you know what? It's also incredibly empowering.
So how do we become the master of this internal architecture? Well, the process is pretty clear. First, you have to actively search for the positives in any situation. Then, when a negative thought pops up, and it will, you have to consciously redirect it. And third, you put your focus on what truly satisfies you, what brings you happiness. This is how we start to build a more intentional, more powerful inner world.
Okay, so we've looked at our relationship with time and with our own thoughts. Now, let's go even deeper. This is the journey of self-discovery, and it comes with a really interesting paradox. To truly find yourself, you first have to be willing to let go.
And this right here is the core concept. We spend so much of our lives thinking that we build our identity by acquiring things, possessions, job titles, beliefs. But our true identity, our authentic self, isn't found in what we gain. It's found in what we're willing to release. It's about subtraction, not addition.
And what exactly are we releasing? Well, it's all those layers of conditioning we've picked up over a lifetime. Things like our attachment to our physical image, our possessions, those beliefs we just accepted without ever questioning them, and all the social roles we play for other people. When you let these things go, you start to uncover the authentic self that's always been there underneath.
So, once we start to connect with that authentic self, the next big question is, now what? What do we do with it? This is where purpose comes in. Think of it as the compass that directs all our energy toward what truly matters.
And let's be clear, true purpose has nothing to do with chasing approval or trying to prove your worth to other people. It comes from within. It's about finding a worthy cause, a dream, a goal, a passion, and dedicating your authentic self to it. When you align your actions with that deep, personal meaning, that's what gives life a powerful reason to be. And this brings everything right back to the power of the mind. When you combine that authentic purpose with sustained, concentrated thought, when you really focus on what you want, then, wow, nothing is truly out of reach. Your desires, your dreams, they can become your reality. Of course, trying to pursue a great purpose in a pretty chaotic world, well, that requires a stable inner foundation. So now let's shift our focus to how we can cultivate that internal state of peace, that serenity that's so necessary for clear perception and wise action. This is such a wonderful, practical technique. You can literally use your imagination to build a personal inner sanctuary. Just picture it for a second. A lush green forest, maybe a gentle stream running through it. You can feel a cool breeze on your skin, hear the sound of a babbling brook, even smell the flowers. Whenever you need to find some peace, you can just mentally retreat to this special place you've created.
You know, this inner peace, it leads directly to wisdom. When you have a calm and clear mind, you start to see that life is kind of like a mirror. It reflects your internal state right back at you. It starts to show you not just the surface of things, but the deeper truth of who you really are.
And beyond just creating that peaceful place in your mind, wisdom also comes from reflection. When we pay close attention to our experiences and even to our dreams, they can serve as these windows to a higher consciousness. They offer insights and guidance, helping us see the deeper patterns in our lives and figure out what our next steps should be.
And that brings us to our final section, where we're going to tie all of these ideas together. This is all about our lasting impact, that eternal chronicle we're all writing, moment by moment.
You know, as we move through life, it's so easy to feel like we're blocked by external barriers. But the real things holding us back, they're almost always internal. It's the mental baggage, the fixed beliefs, the old stuff we carry around. Releasing that baggage is the absolute key to making sure our journey is one of constant growth.
So, this brings us to this beautiful ultimate takeaway. Imagine your life is a radiant library of light. Now, most people are just distracted by the dust on the shelves, but the conscious individual, they understand that they are the author of every single book inside. Every moment is a word. Every day is a new page. You are the one curating this library, filling it with your intention.
So we end right back where we started, with the incredible power of now. The chronicles of your life aren't some dusty history book. They are being written this very second. So the question this leaves us with isn't just what story you will tell, but what story are you writing right now? The invitation is to make every page, every single word, worth remembering.